affairs lectures, and today we'll deal with the major current affairs news items from the last entire week. Not just today, last entire week that we'll be focusing on. One of the most important thing about current affairs is it's a very vast thing. Okay, everything is current affairs. Even Ambani's son is getting married, that is also current affairs, but that's not relevant for exam. Right? But sometimes you feel something is relevant. Let's say government has done something, you feel that it is important. Sometimes those are very minor things which are not so relevant. So you need to understand what is important, what is not so important. And to understand that, you need to go through the subjects, you need to know the syllabus, you need to know the PYQs, you need to understand what they ask. Then you will understand what is relevant and what is not so relevant. Okay? Now, first of all, there is one news. UK Parliament approves assisted dying bill. Now we don't know what is assisted dying. At least we know dying. So there's a bill passed in UK. The bill says if a person wants to die, we will help them. Okay. So there is a concept called as euthanasia, if you have ever heard. Euthanasia, have you heard it?
Yes.
Yes? What is it?
Death.
Without pain.
Without pain?
Yes.
You'll give, yeah. Okay, so what happens is, there are some patients who are suffering so badly that for them living the life is more miserable than dying. So if you ask them, should we give you some kind of death sentence, or let's say we give you one injection and you will die, will you prefer that, or will you prefer to stay alive? That person will prefer dying. So think about that condition. We call it terminally ill patient. Okay. Now the question is a person having that right to die? In our constitution we have article number 21. If you have ever gone through this article, it talks about right to life. That all of you have right to life as your fundamental right. Right? That means if someone is coming and trying to kill you, you can reach out to government. If government is trying to kill you, President is controlled by government. So you'll reach out to court, Supreme Court, right? And fundamental rights, Article 32 clearly says that if any fundamental right is getting violated, Supreme Court will come into picture and save you, right? So you have right to life, right to life. But this article has been interpreted differently in different judgments by the Supreme Court. Supreme Court says, if it is written right to life, doesn't mean only about life. It includes many dimensions. For example, you have right to sleep. You want to sleep, government doesn't want you to sleep. If you're sleeping on the road, so you have right to sleep also as part of it. So even when I look at this life part, I look at the environment. Let's say I do not have the clean environment. Let's say it's highly polluted. Delhi, although Delhi is not a good example. Rather, let's say we talk about nuclear problem or something happened. Nuclear leakage has taken place. Okay, radiation is taking place. Something is happening, horrible condition is there. Can you survive? So even right to clean environment becomes part of right to life. So this is how Supreme Court interprets it, case by case. Now some people asked, sir, is right to die a part of Article 21? What do you think? It's your body, your life, my choice. Should I have right to die? Why my life? Yes? So this is the area where things become complex. We study such things in ethics. There is a moral dilemma, there is complexity. Whether it is right or wrong, telling this thing is very complicated. Right? If you read religious texts, they will say, this is not good, this is a sinful act. Right? Committing suicide is a sinful act. But look at this condition where a terminally ill patient is in front of you. There's a movie in Bollywood called Guzarish. You can watch that movie. You will see how that person is suffering so badly. You will also feel that, let him die. Okay, now right to die should be there. So that's where things become complex. And case by case basis, Supreme Court also looks at these cases and tries to know whether we should allow this thing or not. Okay? Now this right to die, it is also known as euthanasia. Euthanasia means good death. That means you're not killing someone intentionally with any bad intention as such. You're killing with a very good intention. So in ethics also we study this concept. If your intention is right, then your action is right. Even if you're killing that person, you're doing it mercifully. You want that person to die because you don't want him to suffer so much, right? So this is called euthanasia, and it is one of the most debated issue throughout the world. Some societies support it, some societies do not support. In the society, some people support, some do not support. Okay, this complexity is going to remain. So accept it first of all, that it's a debatable topic. Okay. Now, this euthanasia will be of different types. One could be active or passive. Let's say, for example, there's a patient and what doctor says, I'll give him one injection and he will die. Now this is called active euthanasia. You have actively taken some action to kill this person, right? Now there's another way. We'll not give any injection, any tablet as such. We'll simply remove his mask or whatever ICU support, whatever he's getting. We'll just remove it. He'll die naturally. This is something we call as passive euthanasia. Does it matter? Active or passive? It's just for our sake that we feel that here the person died naturally and here we killed that person. Right? Then another way is to look at it as voluntary or involuntary. Voluntary euthanasia means the person who is suffering, who wants to die, that person has given his consent. He is asking to give me death. That is voluntary euthanasia. And this other way, that person is not requesting. Maybe that person's parents, family members, they are reaching out to you, please kill him and just end the story. No, not like this. It could be a serious situation wherein the patient is in coma. Let's say since last 5 years he is in coma. Anyway, doctors are saying he is not going to survive. Financial burden with such patients is very high, right? So look at all these dimensions and then look at this thing. Now the point is, as far as legality is concerned, anyway this involuntary euthanasia is considered as illegal and immoral. Okay, the point is, at least should we give this voluntarily or not? This is where the debate is going on. This one anyway nobody is ready to accept much. Fine? Now the good sides, bad sides, you can look at it. One side of the argument who support euthanasia is, I have right to autonomy over my body. It's my body, let me decide what I want to do. This is very individualistic thought, right? You have that right. So they argue this part. Second, the person is suffering. So show some compassion, show some mercy. And this person is also having right to die with dignity. Die with dignity. If you're suffering very badly, so many things, let's say your organs have failed, the situation is very, very pathetic, we can say. Now you want to die with dignity, you don't want to die like this. So that dimension we are thinking about. Then what about family, financial pressure, emotional pressure? All those dimensions are there. And what about the medical resources? Now you look at it as a bureaucrat. In our country, it's not like we have sufficient amount of medical resources available as such. We saw that in the COVID-19 crisis, right? Number of patients were way more than the hospitals or staff that was available with us. Isn't it important that you use those medical resources wisely? Why waste on such a person who is anyway going to die now? And he wants to die also. Use those resources for some other person, right? This is the argument given by this one side who is supporting euthanasia. Other side who argue against it. They say, what about life? Life in itself is important. And when you are allowing someone to die, then you are allowing suicide. First of all, this will have repercussions. Repercussions as in, after some time, maybe people will try to do this thing deliberately. Anyway, this person is not dying, let's just sort it out this way. Or they might, a person who is suffering, he might get some obligation mentally that because of me, my family is suffering financially and all these things are happening, it's better I should die, and such trend will increase. Now government thinks about this dimension, that there will be this slippery slope, means once you do this action, there will be more actions done by the members of society. So continuously such things will happen. Then some people say there's a new thing that is coming into picture called as palliative care. It's nothing but nowadays in medical science what they are doing is, if someone is suffering, they don't have the solution for that suffering, but they will try to reduce that suffering. Let's say you're having some kind of pain, so we'll give you some painkiller. You're emotionally not in a good state, so we'll provide you some psychological counselors, some people will sit with you, they'll talk to you. Such kind of thing is part of this palliative care. So those who say that don't give euthanasia, they talk about all such arguments. And they eventually say if even in hospital, it is possible that doctor is going to kill at any point of time. How could the patients trust doctor or the hospital? So there is a trust factor that you reach out to hospital with the hope that one day you will become better. Right? So if you allow such things, that would not set a good trend, is what these people are saying. Other side. Yes, any doubt? No? Now look at India's Supreme Court. Initially, Supreme Court had taken the stance of the same kind, wherein they were also completely against it. So, this case, Gyan Kaur versus State of Punjab. There is no right to die under Article 21. They have very clearly mentioned, right? But Supreme Court also changes its interpretation with time. It's not like they have said something and that will remain as it is. With time, they can review their own decisions. So with time, we came up with this case. Now you'll read this case later on also. Aruna Shanbok case. Now here they are saying we are going to allow passive euthanasia under strict conditions. See, talking about passive and not active. That means you will just remove that life support, not actively give injections, right? So this is the present case right now as far as India is concerned. Although the bill is in UK, we talked about the dimension in India because we are not preparing for British civil service, right? So we should know about what's happening in India as well as what's happening in UK. Okay. Now, as far as UK's bill is concerned, what they are saying, this bill is applicable to England and Wales, and it legalizes this assisted dying of patients who are anyway going to die within next 6 months. If they are getting this approval from the doctors that within 6 months this person is going to die for sure, only in such cases they are allowing such thing. Okay, and they have all this mechanism wherein they'll take approval from doctors, psychiatrists, senior lawyer, a social worker. So there is mechanism that it should not be misused, right? Otherwise you will pay some money to the doctor and yeah, people have plans, right? So that's the case with euthanasia. Any doubt? Easy? Easy. But Hindu will put some very heavy words and make it so complex, right? Now, next news item. Now this is from your science and technology part. This I find one of the most important topics from science and tech, considering the times in which it is being asked, or rather in newspapers, since last 2-3 years, continuously, we are observing articles on CAR T cell therapy. Any idea? CAR T, no CAR. Yes. How many are you are from this science background? Only one. Thank you. 2. Okay. Okay. Now see. Very good. So, okay. Listen. Now what happens? Let's say a virus or a bacteria enters our body. Let's look at the COVID-19 virus entered your body. Now it starts killing your body. It will keep on multiplying. One virus entered. It will make 2, 3, 4, 5, 100,000. Either you will win or virus will. Right? Now in this case, our body has some defense mechanism or immune system. We have this system in us which ensures that we will fight with this virus. So see, our body is made up of cells. In each cell, there is nucleus. In that nucleus, there is something called DNA stored. In that DNA, there are something called genes. Now, this part you will study in science and tech. But just understand the basic part. Genes are present in each cell of your body. And there are so many cells. You can't even count. These genes have got all the information that is needed. Let's say your eyes have some cells. Whether your eye color will be black, blue, brown, whatever, those cells know, right? So here I'm saying, when you look at this genes part, right, they have got the information, they have got this information also. If someone is attacking, some foreigner is attacking your body, a virus is a foreigner, right? That foreigner is attacking your body, then how to fight with it? So antibodies are generated, they attack. So in your body there are some cells called as T cells. Okay, in your blood there are some cells, WBCs if you have heard ever, white blood cells. Now just remove that technical part, just think about this dimension. There are some cells called as T cells. Those are part of your blood. And these T cells are just like your army. Someone attacks, they will attack back. So these T cells, what they do is, they try to provide you the immunity against whatever is coming, that foreign particle, right? And here their role is simply to fight. Now the point is, this works well if the virus or bacteria is coming from outside, right? Now let's say there is a problem with my body. Let's say in my body there are some cells which are growing, that too in an uncontrollable manner. For example, this my hand. The cells, my hand is made up of cells. When I was a child it was very small, now it has become such a big hand. But that cell knew how much to grow. After growing this much, it has stopped growing. What if it would have continued? Right? So the cells know when to stop, everything they know. But sometimes some complications take place. Some cells start growing in an uncontrollable manner. Uncontrollable means, let's say here at this place continuously cells are growing. It's not stopping. Now this is something that we call as cancer, right? Formation of cancer, when we say, this is the same thing. Now see, cancer is not happening because of something which is coming from outside. Nothing external, no virus, bacteria, nothing. It's your own body, right? Now that's where things become problematic. Even if you try to go for any therapy or to sort it out, this problem of cancer, you go for chemotherapy, radiation therapy, etc. What you're trying to do is, you're trying to kill the cells of your body. Now when you try to kill those cancerous cells, some good cells also die. They also get destroyed in that same process, right? That's why this cancer therapy in itself is considered to be very complex, very tough. That's why the survival becomes difficult for many people, right? So scientists are working, let's find out something new, some new therapy. So one new therapy is this CAR T cell therapy. Now go back to that T cell. What was the task of T cell? What it used to do? Not cancers, not killing cancers. T cell was simply killing the foreigners. Foreigners I said, or we use the term called antigens. So any virus, bacteria that is coming, it is going to kill that. Will it kill the cancerous cell? No, it doesn't understand that. It means it has to attack the foreigner, not the insider, right? They are not government, right? Now, what scientists have done, they have gone for genetic engineering, genetic editing. What we do is something called gene editing nowadays. What scientists will do, they will take your blood sample. In that blood, they'll take that WBC, they'll find out that T cell. Okay, they'll take that and now they will edit it. That's the process of gene editing. They'll edit it in such a way that now these T cells will be trained not to attack foreigner, rather to attack these cancerous cells. Okay, you're doing this programming or coding, you can say, this gene editing. So now, as soon as T cells find out any cancerous cell, they'll attack. So you don't need any medicine or injection from outside. Your body's immune system will automatically attack cancerous cells. Are you getting this? So they'll edit it and they'll put this cells again in your body, and automatically you will be cured of this cancer. Yes, getting the point? So this is the CAR T cell therapy. It's a very new therapy, just recently developed. Okay. As far as India is concerned, in India we use the same therapy with the name NextCAR19. It's called India's first indigenously developed CAR T cell therapy. Who developed this? ImmunoAct, which is part of IIT Bombay. They have developed it. You should just know this NextCAR19 name. Any doubt? No doubt? Good. People are smart. Now, next one. Now this one, all of you must have heard at least, that one person from India has went to International Space Station. What is his name? Shubhanshu Shukla. So he's from Air Force, Indian Air Force, right? Now, is this news important for us? Why? Just because an Indian went to the space and all? Is it a big news?
He is the first Indian to visit ISS space.
Okay. But is it that important? Huh?
He might be the last because
He might be the last.
because ISS will be
He is
destroyed.
going to
Okay.
part of Gaganyaan mission in
Okay, very good. So actually that Gaganyaan mission will be more important, which you will anyway study as part of your science and technology, right? It will now be part of static also. Now see what has happened. Going to the space, this is something ambitious, right? India has one plan to send some Indian astronauts to the space, right? Now we have been planning this since a long time. The first person from India to reach to space, that was Rakesh Sharma. Okay. Now after this person, now this person is going. Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla. But not ISRO is sending this person right now. Rather, there's a space mission from a private company in USA, right? They are sending. Now we are so much interested because this person is going to learn many things there. He is going to experience many things, and all the studies that will be conducted through this will be helpful for our Gaganyaan mission, which ISRO is anyway going to launch, right? That's why it's a big news. It's a very big news. Now for exam, what is more important for us is to know this International Space Station and this Axiom 4 mission. The mission through which this person is reaching, not just one person, there are few others also, 4 people are there. Now the name of the mission is Axiom 4. Now if I simply ask, is it a mission of ISRO or NASA? It's a private, right? Although ISRO, NASA, all these have collaborated in this particular Axiom 4 mission, right? Now more importance should be given to International Space Station rather than all these things. Now when I say International Space Station, what do you understand by that?
it is your
Just like a hotel for space station.
Just like a
Hotel for
hotel. Okay. So just like we have airport, bus stand and railway station. Now we are getting to the space, so we need space station. Simple. Right? After some time, just like airports, these space stations will become very common. Right? Now space being a very advanced area where reaching is not that easy, technological advancements are needed, and that's why initially some countries came together to form a space station. It's not one country who has made it. So here we have total 5 countries. So collaboration between United States NASA, Russia's Roscosmos, European Space Agency, Japan Space Agency and Canadian Space Agency. All these collaborated together to make this International Space Station. And how they use it is, if any scientist is reaching out there, any astronaut is reaching out there, they'll help them. They'll conduct some experiments over there. For example, there will be microgravity experiments. So here we have gravity, there we will have less gravity, right? So some experiments they are conducting, we don't know what. We'll just wait for their results. Now, this International Space Station is located at 400 kilometers above the Earth's surface, approximately 400, okay, from the Earth's surface. Now, the point is, it's not like only International Space Station is there. Many countries are planning to build their own personal space station. China is trying, USA is trying, Russia is trying, India is also trying. So we have a plan that in next few years, we will build our own space station. Some name they have given, Bharatiya Antariksh. Okay, whatever. Now see, the point becomes way more complex when we are getting news that many private agencies, private companies, they are also saying we will build our own space station. Okay, so all these things, what they show is now space is getting commercialized. Till now space was not commercialized. Now the capitalism or your business part is entering into space area. Okay, and this will happen in next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years down the line. You'll see space will become a normal thing for you people, so you will also travel. Okay, that's it. Okay, that's it. That's what you all need to know. Gaganyaan mission you people need to study in detail. That will be part of your static, right? Done. What's next? Amit Shah is next. So there's a news. Amit Shah reaches Varanasi to chair Central Zonal Council meeting. Any idea what is this Zonal Council? Yes? No idea? Okay, no problem. At least you know that we have something called central government and state government. Yes, and they fight. They keep on fighting. Why do they fight? For resources. Only for resources. Yes, resources can be one thing, but everyone wants to work on their own. There will be disturbances, and because we have two different governments, so yes, power distribution comes into conflict many a times. Many a times, this party politics comes into picture. At center there is other party, at state there is different party. They keep on fighting. Sometimes, if we remove the party politics part, if we look at things from the perspective of center and state, yes, interstate disputes. There is a possibility of fight between Karnataka and Maharashtra, right? That's possible. Or there is a possibility there is a fight between one state and center. That is also possible. So there can be many problems in a country where we have a federal political system. When we say federal, we have different tiers of government. Center, state, and then we have this Panchayati Raj also, but right now we are looking at this center and state part. Now there is possibility of conflict, and it's better if you have some mechanism through which you can sort it out. Any problem. It could be a problem of river water sharing, right? It could be any other problem, although for river water we have different mechanisms available, but problem could be anything. Now to sort it out, what you need is some discussion, negotiation, wherein people will sit, where central government will sit, state government will sit, and they will talk, they will have some discussion. And for that we have something called this zonal council. Okay? Now first thing, is this a constitutional body or a statutory body? Yeah, I've written there anyway. So now, when we say constitutional body, that means, is there any mention of this body in the constitution? Like Election Commission of India, Supreme Court, it has been clearly mentioned in the constitution. But this body is not mentioned as such. It was made later on. Specifically, we brought this act called as States Reorganization Act 1956. You see, when we got independence, when we implemented constitution, after that, few complex things happened, wherein people in some areas started saying we want different state, starting with the same land where we are standing. Yes, Telangana, Andhra, or we should call it the Telugu state demand, started from the Madras presidency or the region of Madras. And that continued, that kept on happening, and such demands were there, and later on it was decided that what we will do is we will reorganize the states. Okay, so for the reorganization, there was this commission set up, Fazl Ali Commission, right? And after their recommendation, we brought this State Reorganization Act 1956. Okay, so reorganization was done. After that, one more thing that came out of it, that was this zonal council, because it was clear that there is possibility of some kind of dispute again. So to sort it out, we need such council. Okay, now this zonal council, if you see, there are different branches of it. One is the Northern Zonal Council, where you will have Haryana, Himachal, Jammu Kashmir, etc., etc. Then there is Central Zone, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Uttarakhand. Eastern Zone, Bihar, Jharkhand, Odisha. Western Zone, Rajasthan, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Goa. And then Southern Zone, Andhra, Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu and Puducherry or Pondicherry, whatever you call it. Now these are the 5 zonal councils that are set up. But there is no mention of Northeast. So for Northeast, there was another zonal council that was set up with a different act altogether. So with this State Reorganization Act, nothing happened for Northeast as such. And we know that in history, if you study the post-independence part, the map of northeastern area has changed at the time of Indira Gandhi, 1970s time period. So after that we see another zonal council was specifically made for northeastern area. That's called as Northeastern Council. Clear? Now who sits in this particular meeting? Who comes? First of all those states, let's say Northern Council we are taking. So all the chief ministers of these states, or if there is any union territory, there will be administrator. All of them will come, right? And from central government, who will go?
Union.
Obviously union minister. Home minister will go and not prime minister. Okay, this is the factual thing you should know. Home Minister Amit Shah, he will be ex officio chairperson of any zonal council meeting that will take place, any of this. Okay, then the factual part, if we have to look at it, vice chairperson will be any of the chief minister, so that will be done on a rotational basis. Sometimes Haryana's chief minister will be the vice chairman, sometimes some other state. This will happen. Apart from them, there will be some advisors. So for example, Niti Aayog will nominate someone. Their advisor will be there. Some chief secretaries will be there. Development commissioners will be there. And some committees will also be formed under each of these councils for coming up with some technical expertise. Okay? So if they are trying to sort out any problem, we need some committees who can study that issue in detail. Okay? Meetings will take place and they'll try to sort it out. That's the zonal council. Any doubt? Easy? Very easy. Then, next news item is related to SDG ranking. Yes, anyone? What is SDG? Very good. What is sustainable development?
The resources that we are using today, we have to provide future generations.
Very good. See, the problem with the present day development is we are developing for sure, right? Development is going on. But the problem is it is not sustainable. It will stop at a point. It is going to destroy everything at a point. Now what happens? It includes many things. For example, let's say there's a debate of development versus this environment. We are cutting down all the trees. Now one day all the trees will be gone. How are you going to develop further? Or there is immense poverty in the world. Do you call it real development? No. So there are so many problems in the world right now, and we are just developing in terms of economic growth, and that economic growth is also helping only few people. Only some people are getting benefit out of it. Rest are not. So we are calling it not so sustainable development as such. It will not sustain. So what we want is a sustainable one. Now if we take the same example of environment, let's say we are a society now. We will use all the resources available in the nature, all the forest, all the animals, everything we'll use it. We'll destroy everything and we'll do all the development. What about your children? They will not even see any animal, any forest, anything. They also want to develop, or they also, at least they will also have some basic needs just the way you people have. So the idea of sustainable development, they say we have to do the development that meets the needs of the present. Present means this generation. Whatever our needs are, we will complete those needs. For that, whatever development needed, we'll do that. But without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. That means the next generation should not face any problem because you people destroyed this planet. Okay. So this is the idea of sustainable development. Now this was introduced by this Brundtland Commission in 1987, and after that many discussions, negotiations took place at the platform of United Nations, right? After that, in the year 2015 came these sustainable development goals, and all the United Nations members, including India obviously, all of them agreed that we will go for sustainable development, and for that we will have some goals. So there are total 17 goals, and those we have to complete by 2030. By 2030 we have to complete that. So for example, first goal is no poverty. There will be zero poverty by 2030. Yes? So now it is up to each and every national government to take action. United Nations has told this is what you are supposed to do. Right? Then zero hunger. Look at Gaza. We don't need to tell if there is zero hunger or not. Right? If wars keep on happening, we will not have this thing anyway. Forget. So similarly, there are other SDG goals. Fine. As far as your exam is concerned, I suggest everyone just mug it up. This is very useful content, especially while writing answers. Right? It will be very useful while writing answers. You can clearly mention this SDG goal is important and all. That will be helpful. Now, coming back to the news, what the news is saying. For the first time, India breaks into top 100 in global SDG ranking. Now see, every country is taking actions. So now we make one chart wherein we tell which country is taking what kind of actions and where they are standing in terms of achieving their SDG goal. Right? So here we are saying now India has entered into top 100. Till now India was not part of it. So look at the trend. In the year 2017 we were at 116 and 112, 115, and now we have reached 99 in 2025. Is it a good news, bad news? Good news, very good news. We're doing good. So it's a good news, we'll remember. Now we should know the name of this report. Name is Sustainable Development Report 2025. And who brought this report? United Nations Sustainable Development Solutions Network. Now this is something factual which you will have to remember. Okay, how it will be helpful? Maybe in prelims they'll directly ask who brought this report, or in the mains when you are writing answer, when you are substantiating your claim that yes, there is something good happening, how will you substantiate? You will claim that see, this report says that this is how India has reached to 99th spot. Okay, so whatever you are saying, that should look authentic. That will look authentic if you are putting such a report in the answers. Now just for the comparison, the top 3 countries, Finland, Sweden, Denmark, always they are the toppers, right? But we compare with our neighbors, our habit. First, where is Pakistan? 140. Okay, then we are happy. Maldives 53. Now, shame on you. Bangladesh, okay, pathetic condition. Sri Lanka is doing better than us. Nepal is doing better than us. Bhutan is doing better than us. So, shame on neighbors. So that's it. That's about this sustainable development goals. Any doubts till now? No? Okay. Now, moving further. Now this is a very small topic, nothing special to learn in this. They're talking about something called thirst waves. Nothing is happening. Only one thing is happening, that is global warming. Temperature is rising, and that we are anyway experiencing in any part of the world right now. Now when this temperature is rising, till now we were getting news that there is a heat wave that is going on, especially in the month of May. We get this news that heat waves, many people died because of heat waves. Now they are talking about a new term called as thirst waves. So what is thirst wave? Nothing but your air has become very dry. Because of this intense heating, the air has become very dry. And this dry air requires lot of water, lot of moisture. So the air is thirsty now. Okay, air has become so dry that it has become thirsty. That's why they are giving this name thirst wave. Technically they say it when 3 or more days air is very dry, then they call it as thirst wave. Okay, then how it is formed, or this causes very high temperature, then very low humidity. Now this is geography terms. You will anyway read what is humidity and all in detail. Simply to understand, we can understand the water particles that are present in the air. We can look at that part and understand humidity. Then strong sunlight and fast winds. When all of this combines, then it leads to this thirst wave. Okay, and we can understand the impact anyway, that yes, there will be some impact on the soil, there will be some impact on the plants, that they will also get dried out, right? There will be some impact on our agriculture. We need more irrigation. If everything is so dry, air is so dry, then obviously we will have to keep on irrigating, keep on putting water and all. So this you can anyway understand, you can anyway imagine what might be the consequences. You just need to know this term. This will be useful. In the answers or maybe in prelims, they might use this term. That's it. Okay? Now, next one. Again, a related news item. Now, they're saying Asia warming nearly twice the global average, hit hard in 2024, and this is being said by WMO. WMO means World Meteorological Organization. Okay, while reading, try to focus on such organizations. What this organization is specifically saying, as compared to the entire world, Asia is warming twice the range. Asia is warming more. So that means there will be more climate disasters in Asia rather than other parts of the world. So it's a serious news. It's a very serious news. Let's say you're writing an essay. Start with such a report. Make a good story. Now everyone will die. Says the report. Okay, so this is the report. What they are saying, 2024 was the hottest or the second hottest year on record. Temperature rise 1.04 degrees Celsius above this average. Okay, now we have set one target that will not let the temperature increase, because if temperature increases by 2 degrees or 3 degrees, you can't even imagine what will be the consequences. Okay, there will be so many cyclones just because of 1 degree increase. The number of cyclones in the Arabian Sea, in the Bay of Bengal, they have increased. Their frequency has increased. In Arabian Sea, we did not see that many incidents, that many cyclones as such, but now they are also increasing because of just 1 degree Celsius increase in temperature. Just imagine consequences when it just goes for 2 degree and all. Himalayan glacier will start melting. Suddenly you will see so many flooding incidents. So we don't know maybe what consequences we are going to face anyway. Okay, so this is just basic part. Then not so important, but you should certainly read such current affairs part, because government focuses on schemes. We also focus on schemes, and anyway as a bureaucrat you are supposed to implement many schemes. Now, here India launches largest ever tribal empowerment campaign. The name is Dharti Aba Jan Bhagidari Abhiyan. Now, when we use this term Dharti Aba, here they mean Birsa Munda. You know Birsa Munda? Yes, whenever we talk about tribals, whenever we talk about the history of tribal revolts, Birsa Munda or his name will be the first name, right? Now, to symbolize Birsa Munda, they are using this term Dharti Aba. Now, what exactly government is doing? Look at this thing. Government has already come up with many schemes for the entire population, not just for tribals, for entire population. For tribals also, they have already come up with many schemes. We already have a separate ministry, Ministry of Tribal Affairs, to deal with all these issues of tribals, right? So as far as their health is concerned, education is concerned, if they need some roads, anything they need, there are schemes which are already there. If not these schemes, we have this Jan Dhan Yojana, Ayushman Bharat, those are also applicable to tribals, right? Now the problem is, even if there are schemes, the problem is those schemes are not implemented properly, or not everyone has got benefited out of it. So it happens, you go in one village, there are some tribal people living over there, they don't even know what is Ayushman Bharat. Leave the rest of the things. They don't have mobile phone, they don't have Aadhaar card. Means the possibilities are there, this is for sure. Now what government is saying, government is focusing on one thing that we call as last mile delivery. The person who is there at the last, in this entire row, who is at the last, government is now focusing on the last person. We are going to provide the services to that last person. So it's happening that government is coming up with some good schemes. Many people are benefiting, but still at the end, some are not getting that benefit. Maybe because they are not aware of it. Maybe they don't have the resources required. Anything is possible. With this particular campaign, Dharti Aaba Jan Bhagidari Abhiyan, with this campaign what government is doing is, all those schemes which are already there, now they are going to ensure that all these schemes are 100% implemented in the tribal areas. Not a single person should be left. So for example, we have this Aadhaar card, Ayushman Bharat, PM Kisan, Ujjwala Yojana, Jan Dhan Yojana. Now government wants to get it to the saturated level. They want to ensure that every person gets the benefit of it. And that's why they're setting some camps in the tribal areas. So they'll reach out to people, they'll understand what are their issues, and they'll see that these are the policies or these are the schemes we have, you have not yet taken benefit, they'll help them out. Okay? So that's the entire plan with this Abhiyan or campaign. It's a campaign to implement all those schemes. Yes? Now here obviously you might think that it's about the central government schemes, but even state government schemes, they will also be included in it. The idea is to implement as many schemes as possible and include everyone in it. That last mile delivery concept. Clear? Use such keywords. Now this is something that must be there in your The Hindu. So this you have to learn. How to use it while writing answers also. Okay? Easy? Very easy. Yeah, remember ministry? Yes, Ministry of Tribal Affairs. Who is doing all these things? Coverage 1 lakh plus tribal villages in 31 states or union territories. Okay? Now, moving ahead. Election Commission of India begins process for delisting 345 registered unrecognized political parties. Now we need to know what is this registered unrecognized political parties. We only know political parties, right? Now there are so many political parties. Even we don't know how many, right? Maybe Election Commission knows. Now some of the political parties are called as national parties and some are called as state parties. So which one will you call national party? Good, very good. Certain voting percentage, their existence in different states. So there is a specific criteria for state party and for national party. For example, 6% valid votes in 4 states. You should have existence in 4 states, and when the elections take place, at least 6% votes you should get. And you should have at least 4 Lok Sabha seats with your party. So such technical criteria is given. This is something you'll have to mug up. Nothing to teach on this part. And this is part of your polity. Anyway, in Lakshmikant and all, you'll read this part. The point is, there are some parties which are neither state parties nor national parties. The smaller ones. And there are so many smaller parties. Now the point is, any political party is supposed to get registered. Registered under this Representation of the People's Act 1951. Under section 29A, they're supposed to get registered, that they are a political party and all. Now what happens, many a times, many people create a political party just to get some benefit out of it. So you have a political party to show, then you can get political donations. Yes, there will be some tax exemptions. You don't need to pay tax on that amount of money. And then you can do whatever you want to. There are some political parties who have opened a political party, they're not even getting into elections. At least you should get into elections. They're not in this. Now election commission is clear. You have a different plan means. There are some parties, see, these parties have not contested a single election in the last 6 years since 2019. So they're talking about total 345 such parties. They're not even contesting elections. So this gives a very clear idea to election commission that your plan is not to become a political party as such. Your plan is to do some money laundering, get tax exemptions and do something like this. So it's the job of election commission, every few years, periodically, they should revise this list of political parties, right? And that's what they are doing over here. 345 registered unrecognized political parties. Unrecognized means they are neither recognized as state party nor recognized as national party. Just they are political parties. Clear? Now as far as data is concerned, over 2,800 such registered unrecognized political parties are already present in India. Okay, so it's up to election commission how they check which one is just flawed one and which one is still active. They keep on checking each and every minor details and then they come to such conclusion that we are going to revise the list. Is it a good action? Very good action, right? So if someone asks what is election commission doing, they are just wasting time. You can tell, sir, they are doing something. Yes? Good. Next, India's first maritime NBFC. Can anyone tell me what is NBFC? Very good. NBFC, non-banking financial company. Okay? Non-banking means we are talking something related to banks, right? Now when you talk about any bank, what do you imagine? What do banks do exactly? You've gone through a bank anytime, deposited money, that means bank takes your deposit. That's the answer I want. Yes? Financial transaction that you can also do now. What bank is doing then? You can give money, transaction done.
Related to security, bonds, stocks.
Stocks, banks will do stocks. Okay, they help in the trading with demat accounts. The core function of bank is to provide you the loan, right? And securely take some deposit from you. What they do is they take money from all of you and give it to someone who needs it. Okay? And they pay you some amount. Let's say they'll pay you 2 rupees, but they'll get 4 rupees from this person. And the 2 rupees is profit. That's how banks function simply. The basic function we can understand. Now there are some companies which we call as NBFCs. Non-banking financial companies. They are similar to banks, but they are not banks in real sense. There's a technical difference between a bank and an NBFC. Okay, here what NBFC is going to do. So look at this. They are going to provide some bank-like services. For example, they can give you some kind of loan. They can help you with some kind of investment, some leasing, etc. Now, banks are also giving loan, they are also giving loan. But sometimes there will be difference. Huh?
Permission of license.
They will also have permission. They are giving loans.
But not fully licensed permission. Partially they can.
Okay, not like that. But simply you can see, there are some companies which reach out to you. Do you want to buy a bike? We will give you EMI and all. Good one. So that's an NBFC. Okay, that's not your bank. That's an NBFC. So there are some companies, maybe in future they might become a bank as such, officially a commercial bank we can call it. But right now it is NBFC for sure. Okay, they are into the banking function. Some of these NBFCs, they can take deposit just like banks. Some of them are not allowed to take any deposit as such. That means you people can put your savings, some amount of money in the bank. It's not allowed for every NBFC as such. So there are some technical rules given. And accordingly, some NBFCs will be deposit taking, some will be not deposit taking as such. So there will be different types of these NBFCs. Some help in infrastructure, some help in housing, some help in the asset finance. You must have seen some companies helping with financing the mutual funds and all. So different kinds of NBFCs are there. And mostly when they give money, when they give you some credit or loan, their charges are relatively on a higher side. You go to SBI to take a loan and you go to an NBFC, you'll see that the interest they will be charging will be relatively higher. Okay? So this is how we look at it. Now as far as the regulation part is concerned, most of the NBFCs, they are regulated by Reserve Bank of India. But there are some of these NBFCs, for example, for housing finance, we have National Housing Bank. We have some which are regulated by SEBI. So wherever that securities, shares and all transaction will take place, there SEBI will come into picture. Okay, so SEBI will also regulate there. Similarly, somewhere Ministry of Corporate Affairs, somewhere state government, ADA. So there are many agencies which might come into picture when it is coming up with regulating any NBFC. So you will get some news regarding these chit fund companies. Some chit fund, they take some money from people. In 1 month, we will make the double, right? 100 rupees, 200 in just 1 month. So people start giving 50 lakhs and all. Such things, such Ponzi schemes and all, such things also happen in the name of NBFC sometimes. Okay? Now this is an important topic when you study economy. Again, you will read about NBFCs in detail. Okay? Now come back, why we are reading? Because India's first maritime NBFC name is Sagarmala Finance Corporation. This has been established for the first time. Now see its importance. It just focuses on the maritime aspect. Now when we say maritime, we are looking at our ports, right? Let's say there is a businessman who is building a ship. He's building a ship, now he needs some kind of loan. This time, this businessman will reach out to this Sagarmala Finance Corporation. Getting? And this is from the government side. This is a company established from the government side, launched by Union Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways. And government has given it a status that we call as Mini Ratna status. Now understand what is this status. Whenever you look at these central government companies, some central government units, they give some status. Status according to the performance and the amount of transactions they do, the amount of revenue they earn and all. So some companies, for example, we have ONGC, NTPC. They are under the category of Maharatna. These are the top central PSUs, right? Top companies from the government side, central government. They are Maharatna. Then there is something called Navaratna. And then at last we have this Mini Ratna. Okay? So which category they are? They have put this Sagarmala Mini Ratna category. Okay? And its headquarters is at New Delhi. That's the factual part you must know. Any confusion? You understand what is NBFC? You understand what this Sagarmala Finance Corporation is supposed to do? Yes? Done. That's it. Now this one. Now this is an interesting topic. Any doubt till now? Yes, any doubt? We have covered so many articles. So now this article, which was in The Hindu, now this article specifically talks about Governor of Kerala. There's a conflict between Governor of Kerala and the government of Kerala. Now, governor is a constitutional position or a political position or what exactly? Constitutional position. That means constitution creates governor. Okay. Governor works under central government's advice or state government's advice? Central government's advice. That means if state governments ask governor to do something, they'll not do. Am I right?
But
Naturally tilting towards center because they appointed. Let's say state government says, let's say we'll take an example of Telangana. Telangana chief minister goes to governor of Telangana and tells them that, see, this bill we have decided that we will pass this bill and all, just sign it. Will he sign, or he will ask to the Prime Minister? He'll sign. So that's what I'm asking. Will he listen to state government or central government?
Sir, it depends.
It depends. Okay. Now, why do we have governor? Why can't we have just the chief minister? Why do we need governor? Taken from British. So what? We changed so many things. We didn't copy completely. Checks and balance. What kind of checks and balance?
Like in the central, prime minister is powerful. Like in state, government is.
Governor is powerful. Governor will do whatever he wants to. What the chief minister is doing then?
Checks and balances, like if a state government passes a law, and in order to check that if it is unconstitutional, then government can. Yeah.
But for that we have judiciary, na?
Sir, but in central also they have judiciary. Again, we have president also.
Okay. Now, when we look at the central government, we have president, we have council of ministers, or let's say, just for the sake of example, we'll take prime minister. Now, we have prime minister, he takes the decisions, he reaches out to president, right? President is not taking any advice from any other higher authority, right? But in case of state governments, we have governor, and governor seems to be taking advice from the center. Isn't it contradictory? If we are creating a system at the central level and state level which is similar, that there will be a nominal head in the form of president who will not have any power, he'll just sign and all, and we will have a powerful head in the form of prime minister. Similar system we introduced as a part of the state government, where we have this chief minister and the governor. But do we have the similar system exactly? No, we don't have. So we have governor who is an appointee of the central government. Certainly he listens to central government, this is for sure. But constitutionally, he's supposed to take actions on the aid and advice of the council of ministers at the state level. That means whatever chief minister is telling, the governor is actually supposed to do that, right? Now, why we introduced such system? Reason being, India was already run with a system which was highly centralized. Okay, centralized in a sense, when we had this British Raj, the British government was controlling from the center. The system was centralized to a great extent. But the problem with India is it is so large, so vast, that you can't be completely centralized. That means just imagine a situation wherein you have just central government, no state government. Everything central government will take care of. Is it possible? Is it possible in a country like Israel?
Yes.
Yes? Maybe Britain?
Yes.
Maybe. But country as vast as India or United States, that becomes difficult. That's why we introduced federal system, this is for sure. Now, if you look United States, there the governor has got a lot of power. But in case of India, we have tried to ensure that the balance is little tilted towards the central government. Why? Why do we want to give more power to the central government?
It's the main power.
Why? But why? We could have given more power to states. You go to USA, their states have more power than the Trump.
Ensure stability.
Ensure stability. USA has got stability.
But USA is not as diverse as India.
What are you talking about? White, black, all are there. They are diverse, and as far as the area is concerned, they are much on a larger side. What's the core reason why we are tilted towards center?
Historically, we were tilted towards center, so it was like this. It's not.
Okay, that is one acceptable argument, that because historically British Raj we had the same system, so we continued with the same system. We don't use our brains.
During independence, it was even like that, so it was.
Okay, that could be one argument. Okay, yes.
So because they're appointed by center, like you have to see it as a central government and not as a party.
Okay, I'm not saying that. I'm just remove governor now. Governor is an appointee of center, na? That means central government has just put his representative over there in the state somehow to control the state, right? I'm asking why this balance is tilted towards center. Not state is having its independent power to the extent wherein they don't need to care about center. Why state doesn't have that?
Power in critical areas like defense, so it has more power than state.
So what? For example, defense is something state government can take care of, can't take care of. So we have given that power to the central government, right? But we have to do something in agriculture. What will center do? State government can take action. I need water at my home. Nobody is supplying. My local government will take care of it, or I'll reach out to Home Minister or Prime Minister. Makes no sense, na? So the core reason being the incident that took place at the time of independence, that was our partition. Okay? India experienced a horrible situation of partition, and that memory has remained with India. We were always concerned about more number of partitions. India is a very diverse country. It's not like we are same. Look at Britain. All are same. English speaking population. Look at France. All are French speaking population. So they are same. We don't see we are that same as such. Although our history is same, we can say, because British has ruled. But more or less we are a diverse population, so there is a possibility of more number of countries coming out of India. We could have become one entire Europe. That concern has led us to tilt the power more towards the center rather than the states. So in case of emergency, we give all the power to the center, do whatever you want to. You want to cut Telangana in 5 parts, cut it. They have got the power. Right? Now keep this in mind any time when you are getting into that arena. Now we have governor who is appointed by center, and governor is certainly needed when such extreme scenario might come into picture. Okay, and when the governance is taking place at the state level, it is important that whatever is happening in the state, that should go ahead with the Constitution of India. Whatever Constitution says, in the same process, with the same guideline, the state government should work, right? Now see, at the state level, people have got elected and they form the government. There's a possibility they'll do whatever they want to. They might go against the Constitution also. You need someone from the center to ensure that things don't go against Constitution. There also governor comes into picture. Or in case they are coming up with a law, they are trying to pass a bill which is again against the Constitution of India, I am saying, overall. So here, what governor will do? Governor will say, wait, I'll not sign it. Let me check, let me reconsider, let me send it to the president. Right? So you're putting some check. But this governor, it is a link between center and the state. Even if governor is appointed by the center, that doesn't mean governor is supposed to listen to whatever center is telling them. Okay, just the way we have a democratic setup at the central level. What do we mean by democratic? Democracy. Demo means people, crasy means the law. We are going to make our own law. We make it by sending our parliamentarians to the parliament. They make the law, right? And then the government is supposed to just implement it as it is. Now there you have president. Similarly, we have the system at the state level, and here we also expect that we have sent our MLAs to this state council. They will take one decision, they will come up with a law. Governor is supposed to pass that law. Governor is supposed to sign it because it has to be implemented. He's a nominal head over here, just like the president. Okay, but he has to act like a link between center and state. He has to take care of both sides. So in day-to-day affairs, he will just listen to what state is telling. Whatever state government will say, chief ministers will say, he'll do it, just the way president does. He says sign, sign. No extra using the brains, right? But when the situation demands, constitutionally it is needed, considering the unity of the country, in that case, governor will act using his brain also and some advice from the center also. Clear? Now here things get a bit more complex now. Till the time we are looking at center, state and governor, everything seems okay, no problem. things become complex when politics enters into it. How politics enters? At center we have a different political party, and at state we have a different political party. There the scenario becomes complicated. Otherwise things are very good. Okay, if the same government is there, no problem. Governor will sign each and every bill without even reading. ऊपर से order है. Now here the point is, when there is different government, and the point comes into picture wherein these two different governments have different ideologies. For example, at center we have a right wing supporting ideology ruling, and in Kerala we have a government which is communist party. So no right wing, they are completely left wing, they are two extremes now. And what happens is, when governor is chosen, now that comes up with the idea that central government has got all the authority whom to be made the governor. There is no rule, there is no criteria as such. So most of the times, many politicians who are part of the same party, who might not be winning now, but because they are so loyal to the party, they are made governors, right? Now these governors, because of that party loyalty, they sometimes take some actions which bring them in conflict with the state government. Now the same thing has happened over here in this case. So this image, if you can see, this is the image of Bharat Mata. Okay. Now in the Kerala State Raj Bhavan, where the governor is staying, so there was some event. In that event, he had gone for a puja of Bharat Mata, and here the state government has some problem. Why state government has a problem? Because the state government is coming from a party who is left-leaning, right? Now they are saying this is something the right-wing institutions or right-wing organizations do. Okay, in this particular article they have mentioned this. This is done by RSS. This is done by RSS. This should not be done by government. Here they are questioning why you are putting this image over here, because this showcases ideology of a particular party, a right-wing party. Right? When you are in a constitutional position, governor is a constitutional position, respected position. When you are holding a public meeting, in such a thing, you should not use such symbols which showcase a particular political party, because you are the head of the state over here. You are not representing one political party. So here, the party politics is making things complicated in the constitutional affairs. Okay, although it's not a big deal for many. But the argument is, first of all, this Bharat Mata is not a national symbol. We have different national symbols, but we have not been using this as a national symbol till now. It is not recognized as such. Second, what is governor supposed to do? Governor is supposed to act on the aid and advice of the Council of Ministers at the state level. That means the chief minister, whatever he will say, the governor is supposed to do. Now the chief minister says, don't do this. Still the governor is doing this. Now some people will say, if governor is supposed to act on the aid and advice of the state council of ministers, are you going to decide everything? Even what clothes he is going to wear, what he will do, what he will speak, are you going to control everything? No. But the other side says, or as far as the discussions that took place in the Constituent Assembly, when we see the debates, when we look at what Dr. Ambedkar was saying, he was like, governor is supposed to do everything what the state is saying. Almost everything. Except very few exceptions. Yes, ma'am? Any doubt? No, you're enjoying. Okay. So, this is one key question they are trying to ask. If governor is supposed to act on the aid and advice of the state, how come he is taking such actions? Okay. So, this is a constitutional question being raised over here. Valid question? Yes? Yes? Then, this leads to federal tensions. Federal tensions means tension between center and the state. But rather we understand, even if everyone is saying it's a center-state issue, it is a party politics issue. If the governor behaves in a manner that he is not politically inclined towards any party, governor is expected to do that, right? When you become governor, you are not from a particular political party as such. But people behave, that's a different thing. Practical and theory sometimes doesn't match. Right? So this is one tension, and the idea of secularism that comes into picture, that government is supposed to remain secular. Now, although you may consider that this image should not be a big problem as such, but when they are talking about secularism, why they are talking about it? Because the other side, the party that is in power at the center, for that party, this can act as an important tool for political mobilization. For them, they get votes because of such symbols. So here they are questioning that. Okay, I'm just trying to show you the other side of the coin, because this side you people anyway understand. Yes? Any doubt? No doubt? Now some prelims related fact also you should know about this Bharat Mata, because we don't know what they'll ask, but you should know. For example, the origin is in this book called Anand Math, which was written by Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay. Very famous book, and for the first time the mention of Bharat Mata came in this particular book. Now, although at that time when he was writing this book, Indian nationalism was not that strong, rather he was writing for Bengal. He was writing for Bengal. So for him, it was about this Bengal region or Bengal nationalism. Okay, he wrote in that particular context. After that, the first time such image was made by Abanindranath Tagore in 1905. You will read about this person in history anyway. Okay, very important person. He was making good paintings, and those paintings influenced the national freedom struggle. People have used all those images for mobilizing people so that people will come out against the British rule. Okay, so this happened, and most important, it is not a constitutional or officially recognized national symbol of India. It is not. This is a fact. Yes, any doubt? You should know these examples when you are writing. There will be direct questions in the mains on the role of governor. Okay, direct questions. They will say, they'll directly say, they'll give a statement. Governor is a puppet of central government. What do you think? Give your comment. Yes or no? Don't give answer in yes and no. You have to argue rightly. But remember such examples. Yes, this incident took place in Kerala. Similar incidents in Tamil Nadu many times have taken place. So just keep on observing. Those will act as some examples, and you can make good arguments while showing the negative side of the governor. There will be some positive side also. When that will be news, we'll discuss that. Okay? That's it. Now, if you have any doubt, you can ask. Yes? Did you find the terms as difficult? Shashi Tharoor? Yes, any doubt?
Yesterday we got an article on AI.
AI. Okay, then.
Proliferation.
Sorry?
AI proliferation.
AI proliferation.
Proliferation.
Okay, maybe I'll have to go through that article, then I can tell you what it is saying.
Like widespread of an AI technology through world, how it's going to impact.
Yes, that could be direct question in the paper. Impact of AI. AI will be in paper anyway. GS 1, 2, 3, 4, anywhere they can ask. Essay also they can ask. Sometimes for some people in they're optional also they may ask. So AI, you have to prepare. That's the technology that is going to change everything anyway. You like it, you don't like it, doesn't matter. Yes? So any doubt, any problem with reading, any problem with news? Now, because people are more, how many are the newcomers? Very beginners in the UPSC preparation. Very good. So any doubt, you should have doubts. Yes? Either you are very smart or else I am very good. No doubts? We have 5 minutes maybe, 3-4 minutes you can ask, we'll wrap up anyway. Yes? So you people have lecture after this? At what time? 5? 4:30. Great. So enjoy then. Yeah, I'll just wait for 2 more minutes, then we'll just wrap it. We'll provide you this content if you want to read. Anyway, you don't want to read. Done, sir? Yeah.